previously had Shedeur Sanders, and he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks come off the board next year. Then coach wanted to see me come in and compete with Juju, and it's all working out right now. Just coming in, helping Juju.
Your starting left tackle, your All-American freshman, is leading the pack when it comes to setting the standards for the culture too.
Thanks to the quarterback battle and stuff like that. But
ladies and gentlemen, football's back. Now it's just spring football, but even a little itty-bitty taste of it is great. So today we also have some spring interviews. We got the new quarterbacks in Boulder. Who's going to be taking over for Mr. 2 for Deion Sanders? We're going to listen to them. We're going to listen to Robert Livingston as well, becoming the highest paid coordinator in the league. We got Caden Salter, we got Julian Lewis, and we're going to give my take and idea on what the Buffaloes have in store for this quarterback battle heading into spring football. Man, if you enjoy these types of videos, man, leave a like on the video. Just like if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy college football content, Colorado coverage, transfer portal, NIL updates, and everything else in between. Man, let's hop right into it. So Caden Salter is talking about his ability to run the ball now, and I think it's important to talk about these individuals, Julian Lewis, Caden Salter, because I think it's important to talk about what this adds, right? The dynamicness that adds to the offense at Colorado, right? This is somebody who is known for his running ability, who adds that another level. Whereas Shedeur Sanders can and could run the ball, and he scampered in high need for a few touchdowns. Caden Salter, this is bread and butter. Like, this is a different offense completely with a quarterback like Caden. So I'm interested to see what his take is. So let's hear it there.
I'm sure that it'll still be displayed, but mostly here I came to throw the ball, and of course I'm going to use my legs when I have to, and the time break down, and of course with Coach knowing that I can run, there's going to be a few run plays in there for me that I have to take down and run, but everybody know I have no problem with running. It's something that a lot of teams won't be able to stop whenever they do throw me out there to do those types of things, but I came here to throw the ball. We got a lot of electric receivers here. We also have some great backs here, so you will see us get way better progressions with the run game and more yards in the running game and rushing game this season.
I like the confidence, not only because this is somebody, Caden Salter, who's had I can't describe it anything else but a down year. You know, if you know about Caden Salter, actually, we can do a separate video about his transfer portal history because he's popped around in a few different places as well. Originally from Tennessee, then transferred out to Liberty, had an amazing year there, then a little more of a down year last year. So he's somebody that, lucky for Colorado fans and lucky for Deion Sanders, that he's got a chip on his shoulder. He really wants to prove himself, and it sounds like he wants to prove himself by using his arm and showing his arm talent, but still showing a lot of confidence in his running ability too. So it's good to hear there. And I like to hear that. So switching on the other side, right, on the defensive side, Robert Livingston did become the highest paid assistant in Colorado history this offseason. I thought he was the highest paid. I'm sorry, I must have misspoken in the beginning, but just highest in Colorado history. This is what old Livingston had to say about the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I know people say this, and it probably gets lost. This is a special place, and they gave me a chance, you know, so that's never lost on me. You know, I kind of joke around and say I was the dog on the side of the road that people drove by and say, that's a good-looking dog, but we're good. And they brought me in, and they changed my life. They changed my family's life, so it's my job to not let them down. So it goes back to the first question, you know, hey, it's year 2, but hey, dude, you can't blow this. You got to do a great job, so that's what I'm excited for.
I love to hear that. That's a man with some nice pockets, displaying and understanding what needs to be said and saying it in a good way. So, hey, that's how you want that defensive side, and I'm happy to see more great defensive strides as they already took great leaps last year. So let's hear, I think, the man that everybody wants to hear from, Mr. Julian Lewis. He talks about a few choice things. He talks about Shedeur, of course, talks about Deion, talks about his transition. So let's get into it.
Today for your first real official college football practice?
Nah, it was definitely great. You know, finally time came, whatever. I'm bored waiting, trying to get installs and stuff like that. But, nah, it was definitely the best part today, getting asked to play football. So, yeah.
Hey, Julian, just wanted to go back to your recruitment. You know, you came out here a bunch of times. Just why'd you pick Colorado?
Honestly, I think looking at it, it was the building process of the organization, like the program just trying to build its way up from prime, getting here to them building their record and doing all the stuff they've done. And it was just like it was hard to pass up on the opportunity to come under prime and stuff like that.
Hey, Julian, Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. Nice to meet you.
How's it going?
You decided to reclassify and graduate a year early, and actually a year and a half early. What went into that decision? Obviously there's a lot of maturity, that you need to have to come to this level early. But what went into your decision to come here so early?
Honestly, I had planned on reclassing up back when I was committed to USC. That was always the goal, was to skip that last year of high school. I feel like high school football probably didn't have much more for me, even if it meant coming in here and competing for a job young and doing all that stuff. I just felt like it'd be best for me to get in here as early as possible.
What's up, Julian? Scott Proctor at DMVR. Your high school experience, starting right away as a true freshman and obviously, balling the next 3 years, how much do you think, or what part of that experience do you think kind of helps you get ready for this experience, coming into college? Hopefully, I'm sure you wanted to play and see the field early and succeed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like Georgia football is kind of one of the higher ranks of high school football in the country, and I feel like getting that competition at such a young age kind of just helped me develop, and having the lead come in as a freshman just got me used to what I'm trying to do right now. Like my freshman year state championship, we played against Caleb Downs and all those guys. I got killed, but stuff like that just helped me grow up and get here.
Jack, go ahead.
Hey, Julian, nice to meet you.
What's happening?
First spring at the college level, just kind of a general question, just what goals do you have for yourself?
Honestly, just to grow and get stronger, learn the offense. Of course, everybody thinks it's a quarterback battle and stuff like that, but we got such great quarterbacks in the room and just great personalities. I just love being around the guys every day and just happy to be here.
Hey, Julian, Matt Smith. It seems like Shedeur has really tried to take you under his wing to a degree. Mm-hmm. How grateful are you for his guidance as well? Because a lot of guys in your position really don't get that from somebody who just had that position.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely a blessing for me to have a guy like him that just came over top of me. Me and Shedeur talked about it. We kind of came in different paths. I didn't start off at JSU and all that stuff, but just looking at it from another black quarterback is always good to hear from, even the older guys, just that have retired and stuff like that. Just understanding their path, it's humbling.
Hey, Julian, nice to meet you. How has it been working with some of the returning guys like Jordan and Draylon and Omarion, and how has it been, or how have they helped you kind of catch you up to speed here?
They definitely are verbal leaders. Big JC. JC kind of holds down the fort. If you're doing something wrong, he'll tell you, stuff like that. O's been hurt. And Dre is definitely one of the big targets of this year. I think everybody kind of understands that he's probably one of our top receivers. So, getting to be around them every day is definitely good.
John, go ahead.
You have moved boldly, reclassifying true freshmen, following a legend. Are you anxious to prove anything?
Not particularly. I guess I got more to prove to myself than anybody else. I've been getting called overrated since I was 7, so it's kind of it kind of is what it is on that part of football, but I just want to go in and ball out. I think that's everybody's goal, is to come in here and win.
Last one, Brian, go ahead.
And he's going on the last one. We don't need to hear that. Go check out the full thing because we got more interviews to watch. But I kind of want to yap about it, while I got some things back here. Lots of accolades from Mr. Julian Lewis, and I think it needs to be, even though we have stressed that on this on different videos, that this is a guy who has a lot of records and done a lot of big things in not too many years, right? Quarterback of the year from National Quarterback Club, a guy who was obviously competing in playoffs multiple years. Again, went against state champions and now national champion Caleb Down out there in Mill Creek. And obviously he went to Carrollton, Georgia. I am actually, I live in the Georgia area. I'm not going to dox myself. So it's interesting for me, for Julian Lewis, for another part, because he went to Carrollton. He went to that big school, the way that I know it, because of the school I went to, a big football school. Oh yeah, just dogs. One of those big, Georgia schools that's going to be able to produce good. I think we did some camps with Carrollton too, but they're pretty far from where I was. But they've always just been a solid ball club that's produced good players, right? Really a hard nosed type of a football or high school program. From what I knew from the grapevine, we never really played them. Like I said, they were in camps. We heard about them. So I think that's interesting to see. Just going from there and that connection that I think he has with Deion Sanders and with Shedeur Sanders, and I think the biggest thing that he pointed out, and a big thing that you're gonna see maybe even in the videos as it was playing, is that it really feels like he's gelling. It really feels like obviously him and Shedeur is one thing, because that's gonna be ongoing mentorship, but I think even more importantly, him and Jordan Seaton, I think that is starting to there's a clicking up there. There's a camaraderie that you can see that if you've been on the team, whatever, when someone's dapping you up to dap you up. And then when someone's messing with you because y'all really friends, like y'all really, y'all really locked in. And it sounds like that's what's happening. It sounds like Julian Lewis is being received well. It sounds like, and then from the sounds of it, I think it's even better just in the general Colorado thing. If you're a Colorado fan, you're starting left tackle, your All-American freshman is leading the pack when it comes to setting the standards for the culture too. That's great stuff to hear. And another person I think is going to be major in culture setting when you talk about somebody who's going to have a lot more experience, right? Not just than Caden Salter, but he's going to have a lot more experience than a lot of people in that offense, right? I know we can allude to Draylon Miller. Draylon Miller was a true freshman, standout true freshman last year. Love to see what he can add there and see who Caden Salter, who is going to be the presumable starter, right? See how he feels about his introduction into Colorado or Boulder.
Hey, Caden, Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Just obviously you guys getting on the field today for the first practice. What was it like, and how are you approaching this spring as opposed to the others that you've done in your college career?
Oh, yeah, well, this is my first spring here and last spring overall, so I just come in, I just want to be a leader. I just wanted to come in and execute the plays that I know and understand, be a better teammate to my teammates, just helping out some of the younger guys that don't know what they're doing at the time, putting them in the right position and do what they're supposed to do. But overall, like I said, just coming out, executing, completing passes, and doing everything that Coach wanted us to do.
Hey, Caden, Jake Schwanitz from DMVR. Just curious why you picked Colorado. What was it about the roster, the coaching staff that stood out to you?
Yeah, they previously had Shedeur Sanders, and he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks come off the board next year. Then, of course, they got nobody. They really had nobody after him. They brung in Juju, and coach wanted to see me come in and compete with Juju, and it's all working out right now. Just coming in, helping Juju out, and also helping each other out. I feel like it'll be the best. It was the best fit for me, and having the staff that they have here. Everybody's been to where I'm trying to get to. Pat Sherman, he's one of the best offense coordinators, quarterback coaches in the country. So the amount of passing yards that Shedeur put up last year and his completion rate and all of his achievements are something that I loved and most definitely led me to committing here.
Hey, Caden, Brian Howell, Bola Daily Camera. You had a lot of ups and some downs during your time at Liberty, but a lot of experience. So how much do you think that really has helped you and shaped you to where you're ready for this because you've been through so many different things?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't seen a lot and been through a lot with coaching changes and just my overall journey as a college athlete. I feel like just me getting closer to God has brought me to where I am now, and just being able to believe and do everything the right way and try to be the best person for myself and for my team.
What's up, Caden? Excuse me, Scott Proctor at DMVR. You're obviously really electric as a ball carrier using your legs.
Scott.
How much of that do you want to be on display this year, and how much do you think that can kind of help this offense is in the past kind of struggled to move the ball on the ground?
I'm sure that it'll still be displayed, but mostly here I came to throw the ball, and of course I'm going to use my legs when I have to and the time break down, and of course with Coach knowing that I can run, there's going to be a few run plays in there for me that I have to take down and run, but everybody know I have no problem with running. It's something that a lot of teams won't be able to stop whenever they do throw me out there to do those types of things, but I came here to throw the ball. We got a lot of electric receivers here. We also have some great backs here, so you will see us get way better progressions with the run game and more yards in the running game and rushing game this season.
Hey, Caden, we're coming here alongside your brother, Kyle Nett, linebacker. Just what can we expect out of him?
Oh yeah, I mean he's hungry. He's hungry to play. He's had his ups and downs. Also, he's been pretty much hurt all of his college career. So just Colorado giving us the opportunity. We both just want to come here and work and be the best that we can be for our team and our family.
And obviously, because I don't want to do the whole thing, I think that Caden Salter is the most important person on the offense, and this is whether he starts or not, right? Like he talked about, this is not just him transferring from Liberty. This is somebody who's transferring with his linebacker brother after Colorado just lost a standout linebacker, which I think a lot of Colorado fans assumed would be going to the draft, but they actually lost him to Alabama. We did that video on the Kai Hill Green. But I think the bigger conversation here is the experience, like I alluded to, the experience, the culture, the availability to have not only the brother, but like in the world of the transfer portal, how do you keep players satisfied? How do you keep a quarterback room of an experienced quarterback who's already transferred multiple places, and then this new shiny 5-star quarterback who's probably getting NIL deals everywhere he breathes? Well, maybe you have and show and develop a real true, camaraderie relationship between that quarterback and you're also your young left tackle who supposedly is going to be protecting him in the next year, right? And then, okay, how do you keep your quarterback? Oh, well, how about we invest, and how about we, instead of just getting Caden Salter, we also bring his brother in and let him prove it, and let two brothers with chips on their shoulders come together, and that only gives you a bit of familiarity. That only gives you another reason to fight that much harder. That only gives you another reason to give Julian Lewis even more heated competition. I think that if you're a real Colorado fan, right, I think you got to be very happy about this. Now, y'all know me. I'm a Texas fan, dog. My Texas video is coming. Don't you worry, right? But hey, my audience is Colorado fans, and y'all know me. I'm a Deion fan. So I'm pretty happy myself too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is a good little situation for Colorado. When I saw Julian Lewis, obviously the whole situation of him coming in, I assumed that it was gonna be some tough sledding, right? To go throw a true freshman out there. But we know Deion Sanders is someone that is no stranger to putting true freshmen out there and letting them play and letting them thrive to the best of their ability. So it wasn't something that was far-fetched in any way, shape, or ability. So the fact that you now see the bolstering of this guy who I think could play the first year. I think Julian Lewis can play. I'm not sure if it's the best idea, but I think he can play in his first year. Now you bring almost a security blanket where even if Caden Salter isn't ready, well, I think that's great too, because that means Julian Lewis just beat out a veteran quarterback who has been able to get wins at a high level in the NCAA. So it's a lot to get, but let's go ahead and close out with a Rob Livingston. I know we alluded to some of the coaching staff. Let's see what he had to say there.
Yeah, you think back a year ago today, I'm living in a hotel, doing the biweekly parent, husband life, trying to find somewhere to live. So yeah, I much prefer this year than last year. You blink and it's been over a year, and phenomenally blessed to be here. Obviously, off season here is a lot different than in the NFL, but it's great to be back on the grass with a bunch of new faces and excited to go. Brian, go ahead.
Coach, you mentioned at the Alamo Bowl that this year would look different because there's different personnel. So as you've gone through it over the last couple of months, what do you think about the personnel you have here as far as some of the tools you have, but also some of the differences you have?
Yeah, it's exciting. You never really know what you got till you get on the grass. I think it's our job as coaches, we've talked about it a bunch, is to learn the learners. You can get around these guys, kind of know how they learn, how they see the game. Really the month of January and February, our strength staff does a great job. And just excited. It's day one. We get 15 opportunities in the spring and make the most of them and put guys in tough spots because it's not always going to be easy. And just excited about, where we're headed.
Brian, go ahead. Speaking of differences in personnel, you guys have a lot of differences.
Hold on. Turn that mic up, please. Sorry.
He said, "Turn that mic up."
I got it. You good?
It's spring practice.
Okay.
Excellent. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
First day.
I'll restart. Speaking of differences in personnel, you guys look a lot different at linebacker.
Yeah.
What has it been like working with guys like Martavius and Reginald so far?
Yeah, we haven't done much. Obviously just the way that the college cycle goes. You get good reports from the weight room. I'm excited about those guys. They had a chance to visit, in that first portal window. And, it's great to talk and people can talk about it. I see a lot better than I hear. So I'm excited to see the practices and see what they can do, make the calls, communicate. Obviously that position, you're the quarterback of the defense. So somebody told me a long time ago, you don't really learn football in the classroom, you learn it on the field. It's like basketball that way. So they get a lot of reps, the way we practice today. We get 14 more of those, so excited to see where they go. And then other guys, that have been here, maybe they just got here. It's truly a clean slate for everybody.
Matt, go ahead. Hey, Coach. Nice to see you again.
Brother? You too.
I think I heard you mention in a well-off video when speaking to the team the other day that you went back and kind of did your year-in review process. Yeah. Kind of first of a two-parter. What did you take away from kind of going back and digesting last year and the season that you put together?
Yeah, I think you always got to look at yourself as a leader, as a play caller, those things. When times are tough, what did you do? You know, embarrassingly, I always start with the losses. And hey, what can I do better? You know, you feel like you let the team down. So you want to look at it and situationally, you know, hey, dude, it's 2nd and 7. You keep calling 5-man pressures. Like, you're allowed to play a zone here, or vice versa. Hey, you got to bring the heat, and just have those hard conversations with yourself. That's really what the month of January and February was for me.
That's like really elite to see, right? I really feel like, you know, coming off of that 4-8 season, the energy, the aura, the feelings in this locker room and in Boulder is very distinct, right? I think a lot of people can attest to that. Coming off a 9-4, right, and then not only that, but also just so much change, right? When you have people going to the NFL, you have people transferring, you got everything, right? This is it's a two-folder that I think is going to affect. I think again positively. Like I said, I think the additions that they were made were only in the positive. I think the situations that are set up, and now that you have a very dynamic quarterback room. I know we talk about that wide receiver room that's extremely dynamic. Now you got yourself a dynamic quarterback room, if I'm being honest with you, and a defensive coordinator who got a nice payday and seems to have a chip on his shoulder. Julian Lewis wants to just absorb Caden Salter, seems to have a chip on his shoulder. His brother, who's a linebacker, who's going to, you know, make some improvements. Hopefully he has a chip on his shoulder, man. Like I said, if you're a Colorado fan, you gotta be feeling good about the situation is, man. But Jay, y'all leave a like on this video if you like, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. Leave it a comment down below who your team is, because like I said, I want to go through all the springs. So if you know, is there anything else you want to check out, we're gonna be in there, man. All right, but you be great, because you know you're great. Peace.